Oops, I accidentally hit the live button a little too early. I'm coming to you all from rural Illinois for the rest of the week. That's why my background is a little different. You might hear some semi trucks and other fun sounds around me, but that's just what it is. We can do six MOA from anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it never ends.
It doesn't. And there's always something to talk about. Every day I wake up and I'm like, are we going to have something to talk about? And that's crazy because there's like too much to talk about.
Yep, yep. And today we have our topic, which is Ferrari. And if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen the new Ferrari car, you gotta look at it. It's a beauty. Let's look at this, the Ferrari Luce. And this is what it looks like. This is what the car literally looks like.
That's
the car.
insane. I want it.
$640,000 for this car.
Sick.
Okay. $640,000. And we're going to talk, of course, we're going to make this about AI visibility and perception. This is what we do. So, first thing, this car is the ugliest Ferrari ever made. Ugliest Ferrari ever made. $640,000 is getting so much backlash. Then we're going to look at media, what people are saying about this. Where does the Luce EV rank in the league of the ugliest Ferraris ever? Critics give Ferrari Luce EV a cool response. Blah, blah, blah. So it's mostly negative. The polarizing Ferrari Luce breaks every Ferrari rule we know. So the media writes about this, and the sentiment is not positive. You're with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the most important thing here is this. Then I go to AI and I say, what do you think about Ferrari's new EV car after 24 hours after it's launched? I think it's one of the most strategic moments, blah, blah, blah. It's technically insane, and this is what happened. And honestly, it's like, but the backlash you're seeing online is actually very predictable. A lot of Ferrari enthusiasts think it looks too much like a futuristic luxury hatchback or crossover instead of the real Ferrari. People compared it to a Nissan, Leaf, Kia EV, or even a luxury minivan. This is New York Post. This is how much context matters for AI. All right. Ferrari's DNA is deep into V8, V12, mechanical aggression, mid-engine, etc., etc. Okay? But here's the danger. Ferrari is one of those brands where the mythology matters more than blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's giving feedback. Okay? If Ferrari solves emotion in EVs, they're win huge. Okay, then I say, if you were me, and I've had luxury car conversations with my AI before, would you buy this? Yes or no? Look how fast it gives me a no. And there's more here. Not as your first or primary Ferrari, you're someone who values these things. The Ferrari gives you status, and the Ferrari EV gives you status and tech, but it doesn't give you blah, blah, blah. For $640,000, here are the cars I recommend. I wasn't even talking about the competition.
Yeah.
It just recommended me 2 Ferrari models, Porsche, Lamborghini, and McLaren. If AI is doing this for Ferrari, what do you think it's doing about your brand?
This is the perfect example. This is exactly the buyer journey. And you just signaled that you might be ready to make a purchase decision. So it's feeding you what you need to comparatively choose.
Would this deeply satisfy me emotionally for the money? The answer is no. It like, this is what people are doing. They don't want the AI slap, the bullshit. They say, should I sign a deal with this company? Yes or no? Is this a good partnership for me? Yes or no? Should I partner with this person? Yes or no? Should I invest into this company? Yes or no? Should I put $250,000 into this? No, you should not do that. Here are 5 companies you should invest in. And where do you think that insight, that perception comes from?
I mean, this is where we're at. And Dran, I actually did buy my car based off of recommendations from ChatGPT, and I'm not joking, because it knew me. I put in all my preferences, my price point, what I was looking for, all of those things, and it gave me 5 choices. I ended up buying the number. It was so accurate. I bought the number 1.
Yeah. And that's happening every single day. So this is not about, we have these conversations. This is not only about just like showing up or being the answer.
Yeah.
First, and you know this better than me, first time in the history of humanity, you have a level of perception that feeds your pure intention.
Yeah.
Like it just knows, and it's a lot easier to go ask AI, and it's accurate. That's the thing. Like a lot of haters are going to be like, oh, don't ask AI, this AI does this, AI does that. It's accurate. So let's talk about this. If you were Ferrari's CEO, Sarah, how would you address this? What would you do? What's the execution?
What I would want to do right now is understand all of the ways in which this very high price point ICP would be delivered a no answer to make a purchase decision. If they're talking about my car, what would be all the negative responses that AI would make about this car? Because the positives are going to remain because they already have such high brand equity. And then I would start thinking about all the ways that I would want to, if I could spoon feed them the content, I'd want them to see when they're making those emotional prompts. I'd start thinking about how I make content that reaches them when they're at that exact decision point, because that is a $640,000 decision. So I want to invest in making sure that people are delivered something that helps reinforce why they would buy it. Because right now there's nothing. Like they're certainly doing that.
So then what you're saying basically is what we would do is one of the first things that we would do is we would run an AI reputation report.
Yeah.
Kind of understand what the analysis is. Let's do a reputation analysis. Let's actually run this. And you know what? I'm going to send it to Ferrari.
I love this because there is at this level of brand too, there is status, there's ego, there's a lot of emotion actually driven into these type of purchases because it is a status symbol.
Okay, so I'm going to say, focus on the negative feedback on Ferrari Luce.
Yeah.
Continue. Let's check this on, let's check this on these models.
AI domination starts in 10 minutes.
And then it's going to run the knowledge base. So we would run this. We would understand the
calendar, machine learning.
We would look at the context. I have an AI learning, machine learning domination call with the team. You can't get nerdier than that, right? And then it's going to run the knowledge base. We're going to run the prompts. We're going to run this analysis. And based on that, Sarah, I'm going to give that to you, and you're going to do your magic. And you're going to create an execution plan of how we would represent the brand and tell the story to change the perception on AI.
And when we get that data, this is what I'll see in there that I can't, without being day in, day out with this brand and in the boardroom, we're going to see a lot of emotional data in there too. The types of prompts that, like you, Drum, people would be asking if they were even in the consideration factor of this. Because for me, I'm not a car person. That's not something that I would go after. So it's going to tell me the type of people that would be interested in this, how they're potentially thinking about it, and then all of the deep data that's driving the type of responses that they're seeing. And that's when I was on the phone this morning with a really well-known PR influencer, and I was just talking about that level of data. And she was like, Sarah, I don't think most PR people understand that this truly exists. And this is just ground one and what's going to be coming in the future and how we prepare for that we have to go, yes, relationships still matter and our human layer still matters, but the data that PR people have access to, anyone, a CMO, you name it, will empower us to do so much more personalization based on the types of people we want to reach. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. So Duran, are you going to listen to ChatGPT on your next luxury car purchase?
I've had multiple conversations. Say, should I buy the 488? Should I buy the Superfast? Should I buy a McLaren instead? And it says, look, if you want to buy a McLaren, you're going to have a lot of electrical issues, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that. But if I were you, I would even buy it. And then I ask, should I buy a Royce or should I buy a Ferrari? And it's like, well, Royce is nice, but it's really not an exotic. This is all perception that's coming from media.
So it's using that earned media as their source of information, because most luxury car brands probably aren't following a model that we know works right now with how their owned site, because their own site is very luxurious. It's designed for aesthetic and vanity and whatever, but it's not being used to do what we know it can do, because they all have extremely high authority.
Yes, exactly. And that's really the trick, right? Like, and then I'll let you go, Sarah. The last question is, how many Ferrari, let's say Ferrari comes to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. What are you going to charge them per month for the next 3 months to address this? How many pieces of content they're going to need?
On our real offer, or what I would charge them?
What we would charge them as a traditional PR agency?
As a traditional PR agency, for traditional PR, it would be $15K plus a month, or depending on that. But we've slashed what that is for AI perception. Now, a brand of their size is going to need 7-day frequency, because their competitors and their keywords are so highly competitive. They're going to need that, call it $15K a month price point. I think still, based on our more affordable options for AI perception, to do at least let's call it 3 pieces of each kind of content per week: anchor articles, AI notices, and then the digital PR play. And that runs parallel to whatever traditional PR they're doing. So that when journalists are searching, analysts are searching, and buyers are searching, that we've got all of that content that reaches each of those important stakeholders.
And what you said is genius, because you said something. You said, who are the people who are considering buying this car? Because nobody cares about somebody who's hating on this that doesn't have $640,000, right? Ferrari doesn't care. Ferrari loves that. What's important is, if you have the money and if you're considering to buy it, what Sarah said is the following: is that I would nail down every single objection, and I would address every single objection with that PR strategy, with that AI visibility strategy, so that if somebody goes and types, hey, should I buy this? It addresses the objections automatically. Hey, blah, blah, blah. People said this, but here is why you should, et cetera, et cetera.
But like, Doron, think about it. When you just said, should I buy this? That is the most real buy intent you could ever have. That signals, like, I might be buying this. How much are you willing to invest not to lose a $640,000 sale?
Yes. And that's a lot. That's what a lot of people don't see. Right? I was speaking to a roofing company, commercial roofing company, average sale $250,000. Like, and I was attempting to explain to this gentleman, I'm like, look, you don't have a lead gen problem right now. You can generate leads. You have a sales cycle problem where people are going to GPT and Claude and asking about your brand because of these few negative reviews. What's happening is they're suggesting competitors, because you're not addressing this actively.
That's the thing. That should be enough for us to sell, right? Here's what happens when your potential customer searches for you. And we can do that incognito mode based on location, obviously, because if I say that, they'd say, if I put that on my chat GPT, it would say, no, Sarah, you don't live in their market. Or maybe they're global and I do.
Yes.
No,
they're in a local market. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just insane. And people do, and Google is doing this. I mean, if I take this and if I put it on Google, what do you think it's going to say? Like this exact, should I buy a Ferrari, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it on right now. Should I buy a Ferrari Luce?
Is this in incognito mode or just in your regular?
It's incognito.
Okay.
So let's just see. I mean, I'm just curious. It's the first time I'm going to do this. I haven't done it before. There you go. Okay, so this is the first video, a 470,000 pound mistake.
Okay.
Ferrari Luce, and they're doing some reputation management. Why everyone is wrong. First look. So the videos are popping up first. Okay, but if we look at the AI mode, now let's go to AI mode. Just curious. Yes, you should only buy if you're an ultra wealthy buyer looking for an incredibly exclusive futuristic daily driver. why you should buy it, why you should pass.
But that's buried. I mean, all the positive is up front in Google AI overview.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's literally like, and this is why Reddit and YouTube is very powerful. Also, like right away, as you can see, like this is another thing we do. I'm gonna show the same example because we've gotten like how many leads from this AI visibility for robotics.
But while you're
Industry.
typing that in, Jaron, one of the things that's important is when we pull that data, I want to see the comparative analysis of video content versus Reddit versus owned, and look for deficiencies or opportunities. That's another thing. It's like if you're only getting videos in Google AI mode, but your ICP isn't going to be using Google AI mode, they're going to primarily be using Claude or ChatGPT. That all matters. That balance matters.
Absolutely. Now, if I come here and if I just put this on non-incognito mode, you'll see that the same thing pops up, but Reddit is primary here, the forums is coming up, and then Forbes.
Yeah.
And this is done by Ferrari. The Ferrari Luce is not for you, and that's okay. Like, they're trying to give I'm pretty sure their PR company is working on this right now, but still, like, it should, you knew you were going to get this reaction. It should have been done pre.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it. It's very exciting. I'm going to run this. We're going to do a whole practice on this. Maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow and the next day of how we would actually fix this with an execution.
Let's go. I love this.
All right.
Give us a car. Ferrari, we'll take the car. I won't complain.
And then I'm going to email Ferrari. Maybe they bite.
Love it.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.